Introduction. A crucial occasion during Napoleon Bonaparte's first campaign in Italy was the Battle of Mantua. The battle, which took place between January and February 1797, was a crucial turning point in Napoleon's rise to power and revealed his military prowess. We will go into the specifics of the conflict in this extensive piece, offering a complete study of its setting, critical moments, strategic considerations, tactical moves, and repercussions. We intend to provide a thorough overview of this significant portion of Napoleon's military career by going through the conflict from A to Z. Context. To understand the Battle of Mantua, it is essential to consider the broader context of Napoleon's first campaign in Italy. In 1796, Napoleon was appointed the commander of the French Army of Italy, a relatively inexperienced force facing the powerful Austrian army. At this time, Italy was divided into various states, with Austria holding significant influence and control over the region. Napoleon recognized the need to defeat the Austrians and secure victory for France, and he quickly devised a bold and innovative plan to achieve his objectives. Napoleon's strategy. Three essential components of Napoleon's strategy for the Italian war were mobility, surprise, and concentration of force. He planned to move his soldiers quickly to surprise and outflank the Austrians. Napoleon tried to outnumber his rivals by concentrating his men in strategic locations, giving him an advantage in battle. His ultimate objective was to disperse the Austrian soldiers and seize their most important strongholds, notably Mantua. The initial operations. Napoleon's campaign got underway with a flurry of lightning-quick maneuvers and engagements that demonstrated his tactical prowess and strategic cunning. He launched an invasion of northern Italy and swiftly routed the Sardinian and Piedmont soldiers. Napoleon was able to seize possession of several important cities as a result of his first success, which undermined Austria's position in the area. Siege of Mantua. One of Napoleon's primary objectives was the capture of Mantua, a heavily fortified city held by the Austrians. The city's strategic location and formidable defenses made it a vital stronghold for the Austrian forces in Italy. In June 1796, Napoleon initiated a siege of Mantua, aiming to isolate and subdue the Austrian garrison within its walls. The siege would prove to be a significant challenge, testing Napoleon's leadership and the resolve of his troops. The Austrians' attempts to relieve Mantua. Field Marshal Dagobert von Wurmser, the Austrian commander, initiated numerous attempts to relieve the beleaguered city of Mantua after learning of the dreadful circumstances there. He grasped the significance of keeping Mantua under control and how its loss would greatly impede Austrian activities in Italy. To end the French siege and relieve the strain on the garrison, Wurmser gathered a relief force and marched toward Mantua. First Battle of Mantua, January 1797. Napoleon caught up with the Austrians in Mantua because he had anticipated Wurmser's relief army. The French successfully withstood the Austrian assault in the subsequent fight, which is known as the First Fight of Mantua. Napoleon's army demonstrated outstanding order, prowess, and adaptability, causing significant losses to the Austrians and forcing Wurmser to flee. This triumph served as a showcase for Napoleon's tactical acumen and the potency of his novel strategies. The French counteroffensive. After the success of the First Battle of Mantua, Napoleon seized the initiative and launched a counteroffensive against the retreating Austrians. He aimed to inflict a decisive blow on Wurmser's forces, further weakening the Austrian position in Italy. By relentlessly pursuing the retreating enemy, Napoleon sought to disrupt their cohesion and morale, making it easier for the French to achieve their objectives. Second Battle of Mantua, February 1797. Undaunted by the initial loss, Wurmser reorganized his men and attempted to break the siege of Mantua once more. Napoleon, on the other hand, was ready this time. He retaliated quickly, mounting a daring onslaught against the Austrian forces. The French decisively beat the Austrians in the Second Battle of Mantua, incurring considerable losses and seizing Wurmser. The remaining Austrian forces were dispersed, and the French took captured Mantua. Implications. The Battle of Mantua had far-reaching implications, both on the military and political fronts. 1. French domination in northern Italy. Undaunted by the initial loss, Wurmser reorganized his men and attempted to break the siege of Mantua once more. Napoleon, on the other hand, was ready this time. He retaliated quickly, mounting a daring onslaught against the Austrian forces. The French decisively beat the Austrians in the Second Battle of Mantua, incurring considerable losses and seizing Wurmser. The remaining Austrian forces were dispersed, and the French took captured Mantua. 2. Weaknesses of Austrian strategy. The defeat at Mantua exposed the weaknesses in the Austrian strategy and command structure. It demonstrated the effectiveness of Napoleon's innovative tactics and highlighted the need for the Austrians to rethink their approach to warfare. The battle revealed the superiority of the French army under Napoleon's leadership and called into question the traditional methods employed by their opponents. 3. Negotiations and Treaty of Leoben. In response to the disaster at Mantua and more French triumphs, Austria began to look for peace. Negotiations were started after it became clear that the war would not be won by doing so, and in April 1797, France and Austria signed the Treaty of Leoben. This agreement put an end to hostilities between the two sides and prepared the way for the later Treaty of Campo Formio, which redrawn the boundaries of Europe and gave France considerable territory gains. Conclusion. The Battle of Mantua is evidence of Napoleon Bonaparte's tactical brilliance and military prowess. Napoleon effectively conquered Mantua by using creative tactics, agility, and troop concentration, dealing a heavy blow to the Austrian army. His position as an emerging military genius was cemented by the battle, which demonstrated his ability to outwit and outperform his opponents. The battle's effects also extended beyond the battlefield, influencing the trajectory of the conflict and establishing the groundwork for Napoleon's ensuing conquests.